Today we're going to be talking about a Rumble version 2 and coming up with some insane ideas for new power-ups with suggestions from you guys. This month, me and GameFlip are doing a huge giveaway, the site where I go to get super cheap gift cards for keys, and it's actually how I buy all of my keys for crate openings. But we're doing a giveaway for 100 keys with multiple winners, and all you have to do to enter is leave a like on the video, subscribe to my channel, and then click the link in the description and sign up at GameFlip with code LLAMAS. Alright guys, so yes, this is going to be just a super fun video, super chill video, and as you guys can tell from the title, we're going to be talking about Rumble version 2. Now this isn't official Rumble v2 news, but it's been a while, Sonic, since we've had a new game mode, and Rumble is it almost a year old? Hold on. You've got to be kidding me. It actually is. It was released on September 8th, 2016. 2016! That is how old Rumble is. So yeah, it's about time, I think, Sonics, for a Rumble version 2. So we're going to help you out, come up with some sick ideas for brand new power-ups, maybe new power-ups on like a map. And we've got some good ones, so it's going to be a ton of fun. Be sure to hit that like button down below. And maybe if we get enough likes, Sonics, we'll see this video and see how many people want it. And also, right now, comment your ideas for a new Rumble power-up in the comments below, because you might see your idea pop up in the video, so why not leave it down there just to see if you were right. But yeah guys, let's jump straight into it. A bunch of these ideas come from Twitter, and then I also came up with my own as well, but I asked you guys on Twitter what you thought would be cool for a Rumble version 2, and we got a lot of good ideas for power-ups. So let's jump into the first one here. But this first one comes from a guy named Reloads on Twitter, and he came up with the idea invisibility. So basically, you would be able to see your car, maybe it would be like semi-transparent, but to everybody else it would be completely invisible. So as he says, the player can then hit the ball but cannot bump, destroy other players, and vice versa. Now I don't know about the bumping or destroying players, I think that would be pretty funny, but just the idea of like an invisible car in general, I think that would be an amazing power up. Like imagine like trying to fly for the ball and then all of a sudden the ball just randomly gets hit in another direction. And actually now that I'm thinking about it, maybe the invisible car could like just be barely seen, like you just see these slight shimmers of somebody using the invisible car power up. But just imagine that, go in for an aerial and then all of a sudden the invisible car comes in, hits the ball out of the air, and then you could also like dribble the ball while you're invisible. I think it could make for some like awesome plays in the game, and I really think that's a good idea. So Reload's quality idea. Thank you for that one. But then moving straight on, we got Ben M, or Dwarf Butt RL. Quality. But reverse controls or buttons changed for an amount of time would be good. I agree with this one. I think this one could be a lot of fun, and there's definitely different ways to do it, like maybe you reverse your jump with the boost button. That one might actually be a little bit tough or annoying because it wouldn't really be straightforward. You'd be kind of confused about why you can't jump. But I think like reversing your steering would be super cool. Or not like cool if it happens to you, but like to use that on somebody else. I think that would make for a very interesting power up because it's not like super overpowered. You could still control your car fairly decently, but it would still hinder you enough that like you can't quite do everything right. Like it kind of reminds me of the Super Boosties power up, or at least that's what me and the squad called it, the one where you shoot a different car on the other team and it like makes them go super fast. I think it'd be something like that where you kind of just take your opponent out of the game for a second, and also just aerials would be like insanely hard to do. So I think that's a very good idea, definitely really behind that one. But one now that I came up with, I think this is a good one, taking a little bit of inspiration from Mario Kart, but banana peels or just mines in general. Like for example, you get this power up, and I think mines would make more sense. Obviously banana peels would be like straight from Mario, that'd be stealing from them for sure. But I think you could do mines for sure. Like maybe you get one, maybe you get two or three, but when you get this power up, you're able to put them on the ground so that the other team either avoids them or that when they come in contact with them, they explode and then it blows up their car. I think that could be really dope because you could add a little bit of strategy to like where you put them. Do you put them in front of the other person's net so that it's harder for them to save the ball? Do you put it around your net so you kind of have like this little defensive thing that helps you keep the ball out of your zone a little bit, make it harder for the opponents to score? I think that would be really sick. I think the power-ups that we have in Rumble as it is right now are just kind of like, they're either aggressive and help you hit the ball or defensive and like freeze the ball or like kind of hurt other players. But some way to interact and like leave something on the map, I think that could be really dope. So that is an idea I had, and I definitely think that could be included in Rumble V2. Now another one here, this one a few of you said, and I think it's a really good idea, but it's definitely one that they should have maybe added even in like the first Rumble. But the first person that kind of had this similar idea was Passion on Twitter, and he called it stand and said that it would like make your car stuck for a few seconds. But I think an idea that would make a little bit more sense is if you can just like freeze other players on the map. Very similar to the power up that just freezes the ball, but this one would allow you to freeze another player. So again, very similar to the one that gives people like super speed boost and it makes it really hard hard to control their car. This one would just freeze them in place for like 5 seconds. Maybe their teammate can bump them and release them. That would actually be super dope. It'd be like freeze tag. And speaking of freeze tag, psionics, that would be a fun game mode. There's so many things psionics could add, but they're busy adding crates. Makes me sad a little bit. But yeah, freeze, or maybe like you put the car in a prison. That would be kind of funny too. Like you're driving by and you just see a car in a prison there that can't really move. I think that would be really fun. And also just adding into it that you could hit your teammates and free them. I think that would make a very dynamic way to play it. You're not just focusing on scoring or defending your net, you also have to focus on like freeing your teammates every once in a while. So maybe that power up could last forever until a teammate like bumps into them. I think that could actually be really, really cool. Now also with these power ups, I do want to say that with the current version of Rumble right now, every single power up has the same chance of getting it. But with the Rumble version 2, what if you have like super rare power ups? One that maybe you can only get once a game, and ones that are like super powered, you know? I think the freeze could kind of be like that if it lasted forever, or maybe some other ones coming up. But you don't have to have all of these be like the same rarity. You could have some really powered ones be a lot more rare. But let's move on to another one and kind of give you a better example of that. I think this one might fit with like a rarer power up, but this one comes from Nexaway, and he says a power up that turns your car gigantic or the opponent's car super small. Like kind of similar to that power up in Mario Kart where it makes everybody's cars super small. It'd be similar to that. Like just imagine that you're trying to hit the ball and then all of a sudden your car is just like teeny on the field. Like when you run into the ball, it like maybe barely moves. Or actually I think it would make more sense that the ball still moves, or you hit it like if you still have the same mass, but it would still be a lot harder to hit because you wouldn't be hitting it with the same surface area of a normal sized car. I think that could be super fun, and maybe it lasts for like 10 seconds. Or on the other hand, yeah, turn your car gigantic. Like we know this can be done, okay? John Sandman has done it. I don't know how he's done it. I actually might have to figure that out. But we know that you can get giant cars. So just imagine like for 10 seconds you have a giant car and it just helps you like sit in the net. You can like play defense and just be like completely unstoppable for 10 seconds. Or maybe you can drive around the field and just like ramming into people with your giant car. That would honestly be so sick. I'm just dreaming about this right now, and that would be super fun. So definitely a good idea there Nexaway. But along with a similar one, Orange Duff on Twitter also had the idea of anti-gravity. So again, this would maybe be a little bit rarer because it would be a little bit annoying if people got it like constantly, like at the rate they get them in the current Rumble. But like once a game, if you're able to turn off the gravity, that would get crazy in a hurry. Like maybe for 20 seconds the gravity is turned off and you can just aerial around, the ball starts floating in the air. It would make for some very crazy Rumble games. And again, this is already zero gravity settings, or at least for the ball, are in custom matches. So why can't they just make a power up that goes into the game with a Rumble version 2? I think that'd be super simple, and honestly something that wouldn't take too long to put into a new Rumble version 2. So yeah, Psionics, get on that. And then along with that, speaking of like certain things like maybe zero gravity, maybe this could be a power up like on the map itself. If you guys saw my recent freestyles on modded maps video, we played on a map called Tumble, where the map itself has different power ups, and it was super freaking fun. So maybe a new version of Rumble could include power ups that affect the map itself. So Tumble had like walls, had like pillars show up, and also put in like a hoop skull shows up for like 15 seconds and you can score on the hoop skull. But something like that would just be super awesome. And since somebody by themselves was able to create it as a modded map, why isn't Psionics able to include this? Like even just take this modded map, work with the person that made this modded map, and include it in the game as maybe a newer version of Rumble. Maybe you include the current Rumble power-ups on that new Rumble or Tumble map. It's just something that I think would be very fun. So yeah, Psionics, get on that. Freaking get on that. Come on. But another one that I came up with was Oil Slick. Taking the Mario power-ups for inspiration, but yeah, similar to Mario Party, if you, or not Mario Party, Mario Kart, but you could put an oil slick down in one of these games, and when a player drove over it, it would spin them out or make it really hard for them to control their car. So this would work perfectly in Rocket League, similar to the mines, but you put them down, and instead of blowing up an opponent's car, it instead makes them hard to control for a little bit of time. Or maybe it just spins them out and like makes them drift around the map for a little bit. But again, something that you could place on the map would include a little bit of strategy, whether or not you place it in front of the opponent's net, make it hard for them to save, or maybe on the ceiling. I don't know why you would put it on the ceiling, but there's definitely a lot of options. So I think that would be super fun. And then sort of along the same lines as that, maybe a power up that directly targets another player but gives them slippery tires, and basically for like 5 or 10 seconds they like constantly have to drift around the map. Like I know you guys have messed around in training and stuff and just like held down the drift button and tried to drive. It makes it super weird to drive around. You can still kind of drive around, but it does definitely definitely make it tough. But alright, one last power up here. We might have to make a part 2 to this video because we have so many more ideas, but let's just do one more right here. And you know what? One that is super simple but would be super helpful. So this one comes from Joshua Billington, and he simply says unlimited boost. So like, it's as simple as that, Psionics. Doesn't need to be anything crazy, doesn't need to be a freaking boxing glove coming out of your car, just needs to be something like unlimited boost. And not the super boosties, but like maybe for 15 seconds you have unlimited boost. You don't have to go and get the little circle things, the 100 boost pads around the map. You can just keep boosting towards the ball for 15 seconds straight. That would be a pretty good addition. It would be super helpful, definitely a power up you would want to get, and something that's different from anything we've had in Rumble so far. So Joshua, good idea there. Definitely something I think could be added in if they ever decide to do a Rumble version 2. And also as a freestyler, unlimited boost sounds pretty appealing. You could do some really sick freestyles with unlimited boost. So maybe they should even add like a weekend game mode where you do get unlimited boost. I don't know. But yeah, guys, be sure to leave your comments down below of what you think could be a brand new power up in the game, and maybe we'll do a part 2 to this video and get Psionics to see it. But if you did enjoy the video, be sure to subscribe for more just like this by hitting that circle in the center, and you can also check out my previous videos on the screen, such as on the left, talking about a brand new $180 item that is coming into the game, and then on the right, an insane top 15 featuring some crazy freestyles from the community. But other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. I'm TheLlamaSir, and I will see you guys next time.